Good evening, curling fans. Welcome into our evening matchup here. In a little bit of an international flavor, we've got the Netherlands versus France. You know, done Schrobkes out of Curling Club Tilburg and Viry-Chatillon. If I'm saying that right, probably not. My French is terrible. Coming out to us from just outside of Paris. Yeah, you know, these teams are top the standings in the B division. They're both undefeated. So winner of this moves to the top alone. You know, should be a really good matchup.
Well, are they on the top alone? Because Luxembourg also had 6 points, and I've heard they won their previous game. So now Luxembourg is sitting top with 8 points in the B League.
Oh, okay, yeah, I stand corrected. But yeah, we're in for a really good matchup tonight. I think we're gonna have yeah, these two teams. You know, they travel all the way up here. They're not coming up just to show. They're coming up to play hard, win.
Yeah, we're not that far from Waterloo, so it seems like you have two teams traveling to a neutral battleground, kind of searching for who gets the glory and who has to flee back to their country. You have a northern team, like people from the north, Dutch people, and then you have the southern team, the French guys.
Yep.
It feels like it's kind of Belgium, like it's parody of Belgium. Belgium is also a Dutch-speaking north part and French-speaking south part, and now we have the kind of curling version of that going on here.
There we go. Yep. How far is CC Tilburg from here?
Well, it's close to Paris, so
no, Tilburg.
Tilburg, yeah, Tilburg.
We're closer to Paris than Tilburg. I know that.
Yeah, Tilburg is about an hour drive from Mechelen.
Okay. So not that far. Like the French team definitely has to come up further. They're about 3 hours, 3.5 hours by car. So definitely they've got to come up, and they're not going to waste that time in the car and not try to put on a good show tonight.
No, but I think it's probably our first game in the Belgian Curling League with two non-Belgian teams competing, so that's a little bit different from what you've expected in the name Belgian Curling League. It's actually expanded with clubs in our kind of broader region. We have a Dutch team joining from Curling Club Tilburg. Then we have, of course, Luxembourg joining their national team, or their kind of, not their national team, but a mix of the club players in the Luxembourg team, and they get to represent Curling Club Luxembourg, and then we have Viry-Chatillon playing as a French curling club joining our league. So it's 4 nations, and all of these foreign clubs joined just this year. Therefore, they've started out in the B division, but they are pretty strong, of course. And I think both are. The 3 teams are looking for a promotion to the A League and really compete with the top Belgian teams and of course the Belgian national team, Team Viry-Chatillon.
Yeah, that's definitely something we're going to look out for here. Yeah, they're definitely bringing up the. Well, they're doing their. Well, that's the LSD, so maybe do want to leave it on there.
Oh yeah, did I just miss the LSD? Sorry.
Well, they did measure the first one. I know that not Viry, but Schrobkes were a total of 108 centimeters. So I did not see. This looks like it's going to be closer, I think, between the two.
Yeah.
Because they both had 2 quite in the red. So I think this will give Viry the hammer. But I also have to change the colors of the stones. I think I guessed this one wrong.
It's Murphy's Law. If you guess, you're always wrong.
No, I got it right.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, 2 for 2. 2 in a row. Got it right earlier today, too. I got it right last night, but that's because I knew that Daddy's Cool prefers yellow stones, and since they won the LSD, I knew that's what they were, or they won the toss, I knew that's what they were going to pick. But I looked, it's hashtag right. It's 3 in a row for this.
Hooray for Team John. Like, I don't know, how did you perform on misestimating stone or spotting that kind of stuff today?
Not too bad this afternoon, although Frank and I both did realize we miscounted the stones in the last end. And so we did end up overestimating it. We thought, oh, they have 1 more. Yeah, do that for the boost.
Yeah, so sorry for that, for losing track on the LSDs. That's pretty important. I mean, we're not more important than the LSDs. Well,
Yeah,
it's just an LSD. How important is an LSD? It gives you the hammer, but we've seen teams win an LSD and then have a kind of 6 cents down the drain. So it's just kind of a mental thing.
Yeah, the LSD doesn't really affect how it does, and actually, honestly, you can kind of look at it as, well, we'll probably get the hammer back in the second end, and you want to kind of be on that even ends for hammer. So it's not necessarily a big advantage to take that hammer in the first end unless you can throw up a big end and really start getting that other team to chase.
Yeah, true. And it also works like when you're throwing your LSD, the team that was warming up has joined you on the ice and they get to watch your LSD, and if you really nail it, put it on the button, it also sends a message, hey, we got our weights right, this is our level of curling, if you want to beat us, you'll have to make sure you got your weights right, because we're heading for a top game tonight.
Yep. All right, so we're underway, and Schrobkes starting out, getting out there with a center guard, but it's just not curling enough right now, and going quite deep. I think the ice looks to be quite fast to start out. And on the match that we just played this afternoon between Luxembourg and the under-18s from Zemst, they weren't getting quite as much curl they weren't getting very much curl at all until very late in the match. Once the ice slowed down, it really started falling. But early on, it was quite straight. We were maybe dropping 2 stones, 2.5 maximum. So I think we're going to see some adjustment period on the ice. Looks like Viry opting to leave that stone alone, or it's just a little bit lighter than they wanted, but I did not see the call to see what was going on, but that's going to come into the house as well and give Schrobkes a chance to possibly hit and roll. And I'm hashtag team wrong. Wrong again. But
wrong
hey, it wasn't a terrible decision on my part, but it does make sense to kind of guard their stone, leave it up there. See, now that Pim is here, I can focus on talking, and Pim can focus on the cameras. So we're gonna get a lot more dynamic looks at the stones today.
Yeah.
Definitely, when I'm alone, I'm only switching scenes. Switching cameras, not really switching angles that much. All right, this one is gonna curl in maybe a little bit deeper than they wanted. It does set up a double. I'm gonna see what I think Viry is gonna want this one to hit just slightly off to the wall side of the nose to try to get that double. Appears to be just a bit outside. Is that going to catch it? It does. Loses the top red. Shooter's out of the house, but exposes that red one again. And I think let's see what they do.
Center guard.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, it does leave it exposed to a takeout, but it's very likely that the shooter would not stay, so.
We have a couple of watchers tonight on stream, Saturday nights. So just to let you know, we're watching chat, so if you guys have comments about us or the game or the teams or whatever, or just a comment in general, joke.
Questions, comments, concerns, you name it. We're all here for it. Thank you for everybody who's out there watching, spending your Saturday night with us. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the curling. Hope you guys are picking your favorites, rooting for them, sending them your good energy. All right, that center guard just carried over that center line. Oh, leaving that back stone open and available for a hit and roll.
He seems disappointed right away.
Very inside, and that's dropping almost immediately. They might want to let this one go so it doesn't hit their own yellow. Oh, that was an unfortunate mistake. I mean, it does drop that yellow behind the red a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be as useful as they would like. So Schrobkes looking to put a guard just inside the house, or if it carries deeper and gets behind that yellow, you know, it's got that stacked over guard there. They're sweeping this one. They got on it early, so they must think it's light, but sweeper's doing their job to carry it down. It's going to come up a little bit short of where they wanted it, or not.
I think it's fine.
Oh, I think they're dragging that in, and it's going to be just inside the yellow.
Yeah, Skip's telling he's pretty happy with the stone.
Oh, not inside the yellow, as we can see from the overhead cam.
Yeah, yellow is still a little bit better, so it's third shot. Maybe they wanted it to be slightly better than yellow, but you can still be pretty happy with this one. And this one also needs pretty early sweeping here.
Yeah, looks like it's not as far in. Like these stones here at our clubhouse.
Whoa, nice.
No, that one works. Ooh, gets rid of one red, and then opens up that other red. So it's not a. Red is still sitting shot, but it is exposed. So I don't think they're going to mess with it. I think they're probably going to try to come behind these the center. Yep. But as I was saying, is when things tend to cross the center line here, they break hard. They fall hard. It's just sort of the makeup of our ice, I think. So it's one of those things you just have to look at. If you're inside off your line or off your push, then very likely it's just going to fall a ton. Sweeper's looking to control this one, get it down. Looks a bit light. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. It's probably going to come all the way down to the T line. As soon as I said that it was going to be a bit light. Nope. Does not get to the T line or get buried, but it is shot. I think yeah, Viry looking, I think, to play the nose or even possibly roll it underneath their guards. It looks like it's going to stick on the outside of the nose, so that's going to roll out. Gets rid of the red, though. Shooter spills out of the house. As you can hear from the background, we do have a full slate of matches going on tonight.
Yeah.
On sheet B, we have the Blue Huskies versus Luxembourg. And over on sheet A, we have Desperate Housekeepers against Canadians. So lots of action tonight. We'll try to keep you up to date on those scores intermittently throughout the evening.
Need some sweeping to get in the house, this one. Unless they just wanted it as a guard, but I think they're aiming for
well, it's
at least the inner circle.
Yeah, I think they wanted to get that one in, probably get it behind the yellows. But it's not terrible, but it does.
Yeah, it takes away the draw for Viry.
Takes away the draw, but Viry does have that option of doing a hit and roll like he tapped. Interesting that he would call to have. Well, I guess if he leaves his lying up front there, he can get it around. It's further out of the house. There's a little bit more room to draw around into it.
So no hit and roll on that left red one. Would there be a strategy behind clearing the guard first?
Maybe.
Well, with a hit and roll, you can use that guard, of course, and then.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. But maybe they don't want to be left behind their. It's not their stone, and it's still quite open.
Mm-hmm.
With this roll out there, it does make it harder to do the hit and roll on the outside.
Yeah, true.
So
and that outside stone is the shot stone. Yeah. I mean, there's still a little bit of room to squeeze in and aim towards the button.
Yeah.
I think Tilburg is now going to guard that. Well, I'm calling them Tilburg, but actually their name is Schrobkes. It's a very Dutch name. I was talking to Eric, skip of the Schrobkes, and I had no clue what Schrobkes meant or what the kind of story behind their name was, but apparently Schrobkes is a very local drink in Tilburg, and it represents the kind of typical southern Dutch mentality and atmosphere of friendship, companionship, which fits, let's say, their team. It's not a sponsor, by the way, so that was something I had to specifically mention.
No hashtag.
It's not a sponsor, sorry. But, well, everybody's free to sponsor, of course.
Of course, absolutely.
I don't mind having alcohol beverage as a sponsor.
We drink beers on this channel all the time. Definitely a little bit inside, but tap in and that will close the
gap is closed, and the hit and roll is now not an option anymore, so they kind of get 2 results out of 1 stone here.
Yeah. Yeah, Viry now has the option though of running back. That might keep that that yellow in the house. It might not necessarily worry about staying in the house. It could take a blank and keep the hammer into the next end. But they've got to look at what are the options if they do this. They could tap that yellow one, try to promote that yellow one itself into the house. We could yeah, it looks like they're going to try to play that run back takeout. An interesting call this too, but I think it's if they, even if the guard doesn't stay, if their shot doesn't stay in the house or stone doesn't stay in the house, it's opened up over that side, so it gives them more of a chance. This one looks a bit wide. Is it going to fall enough? Looks like it is. Maybe they're worried about it falling too much. Oh, he gets the stone, knocks it out, loses the guard.
Now they're sitting 2, right? So
now they are sitting 2, so this and that side is a little bit more guarded. Now, granted, they don't have to get all the way to the button because it's just those 2 yellows in the blue circle. So,
but important stone for the Dunstropes here. They really need to get shot now. Of course, you don't have a hammer, but you don't want to miss your stone here and then give Viry a chance to score a 3 house and then open up 3-0. That's something they probably want to avoid right now.
Yeah.
And to do so,
trying to figure out what their call is going to be here with that kind of,
I think, promoting their red one.
Is that going to be enough ice for that though? Because for me, I think the risk is if it falls enough, it would fall onto that center yellow, and if it doesn't have enough weight behind it, it's going to just kind of put another guard in front of the yellow that they can't do anything with. So let's see what they're doing here. Maybe they just don't feel like the ice is falling that much, even with that light weight. So they're sweeping it, just trying to get it on there.
It needs to fall, and it's also not that heavy. It'll tap though.
Oh, that's a good one, but it does leave it exposed. It didn't, I think they were hoping that it would fall a little bit more and tap it a little bit more over to the...
The gap is definitely big enough to just have a takeout and then score 3 points here.
Yeah.
And that is what they should do. No thinking time needed to make that decision here.
Yeah, Vice-Skip was on the broom, sitting on the stone pretty much right away, so that was it's a pretty easy call. As a skip, you love that. You love when the calls are just that easy. It's like, yep, okay, this is what we're gonna do. No thinking, just move down and get in the hack and settle in. Sweeping on this one to stay. It's gonna take the
mission completed.
Slide off it, and 3 points for 3 points for Viry. Really strong start from them.
It's a very strong start. A very strong start. Very sorry. I'm only going to use that joke one time because it's really...
2.5 more hours of this chat. Please, please somebody help me. And then probably all day tomorrow too.
yeah.
Hooray!
I have been sitting in the car for over 3 hours today.
Yeah, he thought of that the whole 3 hours. I'm gonna See, it'd be more impressive if you came up with something for Chatillon, but or is it Chatillon?
Yeah, Chatillon.
Chatillon. It's a double L as a Y sound. Yes. Then again, there's no guarantee that I didn't misspell it in the in the scoreboard, but
yeah, true.
I looked it up, so it should be that should be what it is.
Yeah, they're probably missing some accents because French language has a lot of these accents. But well, I think it works without the accents as well.
Gonna have to. Alright, looking for the center guard here. It's gonna come down and nestle in. Actually goes all the way to the T line. I wonder if that was the call, just to get it in the house. I don't think they wanted it all the way back on T, deep. But
no, it's behind the T line, so it's slightly too deep here, which gives maybe the Dutch team the option to freeze or just put something right in front of it and use it as backing.
Looks like that's what he's calling for.
And they have been playing their LSDs on this side, so probably they know the ice on that side a little bit better.
Well, they had to play their LSDs on both sides, so...
Yeah.
But coming down this way... Yeah, it's you would be amazed at how often the ice changes speed based on different directions.
Well, this was definitely not the shot they wanted. And now Viry is going to seize the opportunity to guard their shot stone and have a perfect defense. This is actually going to be a very nice stone. Not curling enough. It leaves maybe an option for Tilburg to hit and roll, or just put something in front of it over the other side. And Eric is joining for sweep the stone because it's way too soft. It doesn't actually crosses the hog line, or will it? No, has to be out of play. And two stones for Reds that were not what they wanted. Kind of underperformed, and that leaves Viry the option to even defend their shot stone a little bit more, take out that last draw shot. Alright, it's a guard, closes down the draw option here, and Tilburg is looking for a hit and roll. Taking out that one guard and leaving their shooter in the house so they can score some additional points perhaps.
strong setup in the house. Schrobkes looking for the run back.
See, this is what, like, just open up your legs so we can see the shot stone while the stone's in play.
Hey, we also have the near house camera. You can just
true.
pop over that, and there we go. That's why we got them set up. Because the skips always stand in the way.
Damn skips. They ruin curling.
We're gonna have media training and tell them where they can and can't stand. Have to give them extra long brooms so they can sweep from the side. I love it when the Canadians are playing because John just lets, I mean, he's all the way over on sheet C and we can hear him pretty clearly on the ice microphones.
Yeah. And Clichy, just to make sure everybody understands, is about a kilometer away from the venue and you could still hear him shout.
Yep. Oh, sorry. You know, he's on sheet A. The broadcast is sheet C.
Yeah, true.
I got that wrong. Hashtag wrong. Schrobkes going to try to do that run back double again. That's still a possibility. You're flirting with that center line. Is it going to fall enough? This one does not seem to. There it goes. Is that going to fall too much?
It seems like a double.
Nope.
This is a very nice double. Make some notes here because for now this is my stone of the match.
Well, match has just started, but yeah.
Well, for now,
Excellent stone there. Perfect double. Somewhere behind the head is the other one. There we go. Takes out the red.
Yep.
Does not quite get the rollover, but it is sitting just biting the top of the house.
Just biting, yeah.
Yep. Just trying to get rid of it.
Get out. I think Eric has an interesting way, I think, of estimating where the broom should be. Or I haven't seen a lot of skips put their broom like that.
No, it is it's definitely unusual.
Yep.
Alright, getting on it late because as soon as it starts to fall, it falls. Is that going to fall too much?
Yeah, but they also want the shooter out of the way. But it's fell too much because the yellow one is staying in the house.
Yeah. Shooter does stay in the house. Ooh, and takes a big Swedish curl back towards the middle for that shooter, but
the Swedish curl, that's
it's a thing.
Yeah,
making it a thing. All right, what do we got? Looks like they're gonna just try to hit and roll, take this red one out of the house. Don't give them a chance to build anything up. They definitely wanted that shooter to stick, though. I think that was a little mistake there, because then it would have afforded them they would have had the house split. But now, Schrobkes can take out this yellow, roll in behind that guard. Calling off the sweepers. Probably going to need this to fall a little bit to catch it, because I think it's a bit outside.
It's outside, yeah, definitely. But if it's out of the way, it's, I think, also
catches
fine.
The yellow. Is it going to get it all the way through? And
it's in the house.
Ooh, curled back around. Did it stay in? No, I think it's out, but it's
it's out. Yeah, just you can see it here in the back of the house, but it's not crossed.
Still in play.
The black line, so
it's fully across. Yeah,
that's referring to the question Annemiek had in one of the previous streams, like if a stone is out of the house in the back, but it didn't entirely cross that back black line, it can be taken out of play. It's still in play because you could use it as backing, or it could have some other purposes or use.
Right. Well, backing is pretty much the only purpose.
Yeah. All right. Viry down to their 7th stone, first stone of the skip. I forgot to take a picture of the game sheet, so I'm trying to, well, guess the names of the players, but I hope maybe at some point we can...
we can find it. I can look it up on the Belgian. During the break, I'll pull up the what is it? The webpage from the Belgian League that has it. That will have the team names on it. Hopefully, it will have pictures, so we can at least say. Otherwise, we're just guessing.
Belgian Curling.be. See what that website has to say.
This one's not going to have quite the curl they want on it. Going to be behind the T line. They're going to try to sweep this one all the way back. Probably even goes through.
Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be all the way out the back of the house. Looking at the option of coming from the outside. Might be a good time to test the ice and see what the speeds are. See how much it falls from out there. You know, usually on our sheets here, the being outside means it generally is a little bit slower. If you get too far outside, it doesn't fall at all. So you want to go to...
Here I have I've just built up the webpage, and they have Céline, Laurent, Jérémy, and Stéphane, and their lead thrower was Céline.
Okay, so that could be the right order.
Yep. See, this is why the internet is really one of the best inventions of the past century. Having all of the information.
John.
Yeah.
They're going to need to hold this one to get it around the guard. I don't know that that's got the weight. Okay, that will slip right around the guard.
Yep. Oof. But it's too hard?
Heavy, actually.
Yeah. They can sweep it out, and it's out of play.
That's a little mistake there. Yeah. See, I almost think that that Viry is correct here, or is making the wiser choice of coming from the inside, going around, and going out. I think they've played up that side a little bit more, and they kind of know the speed and the curl over there. Reaping this one for weight more than line, I think. I think that's going to turn nicely. They just want to try to get this one as deep as they can. It is going to stay a little bit open, but it does stay out in front of that 4-foot, so it cuts down the draw angle. But at this point, they just need to take it out, take the one. Yeah, they still got to execute this. If it falls too much, it hits that top one, and hey, Viry could steal one here.
Yeah, you can't ignore John. I mean, I've played matches where I had to play on the sheet next to John's sheet, and well, you can also ignore his voice while you're playing. It's
when I start to sweep, when he says yes, everybody starts to sweep.
yeah, I mean,
Alright, sweeping this one for line. Just make sure it gets around the guard.
nicely behind the guard. And I hear a tap. Trying to...
One for the Schrobkes.
Yes. They're happy with this one. Important stone.
Important to get back on it. Yeah, you want to make sure you hit those ones that are a little bit easy, easy in quotes, you know, and every stone is, it's more challenging when it's covered up, but sometimes those open ones would be the ones that are hardest because you overthink things, but get it out. Yeah, they would have loved to have put that seventh stone in the house, so they would have to try to draw for 2 or try to play for 2, but you gotta take the points when you can get them. But Viry with that 3 in the first end, it's gonna give them a bit of an advantage. They're gonna have the hammer, gonna try to grow that lead even more.
Seems a bit outside to be a usual corner guard, but they wanted in now.
It seems like either she was well outside, or not she, sorry. I caught the French thrower in the back, but no, it does get out there, but yeah, that was definitely not what they were calling. I don't think they definitely didn't want a corner guard, so maybe the sliding was wrong and then just kind of carried over once it crossed the center line.
Calling it's inside or outside, throwing up center line.
Curious what they're going to do with this. I think they're just going to ignore that one on the side of the house and just try to put up this corner guard. It's actually going to carry into the house. I'm going to sweep it in there. Interesting. I wonder if they were trying to freeze up against it. I didn't see him make any indications though towards at that. So maybe once he saw that it was crossing the center line, it was inside, they decided to sweep it as deep as they could, try to get it inside there, and it'll be a stone that they'll kind of leave alone for a bit.
Eric calling it has to fall. He wanted it on the center line. Just in the house.
Yeah, that's going to allow a little bit deep, so that's going to allow Viry to just take it out of play. Just get rid of it. Don't let anything... the Schrobkes have anything to build up behind. Sweepers got on that early just to try to hold the line, make sure it stays a little bit off nose. It's going to fall onto the nose, unfortunately, and leave something in the middle there for him. trying to decide what he wants to do here. That was the 4th stone? No. Yeah, that was the 4th stone at the end, so they still can't take out the guard, so they're just going to try to draw in behind that center yellow.
Will this one be heavy enough?
It's heavy enough. It's just wide. I might actually go behind the T line. Yeah, they're going to try to sweep this, get this towards the back of the house, a little bit off the T line, so it's not to be as useful for Viry, but I think Viry's going to try to just tap and roll something outside, get it behind that guard over there. Is that going to have enough time to fall? I don't think so. It's going to be a little bit outside.
Yep. Also,
it just slides by the red. So that could be the opening that Schrobkes need to try to steal something here. Playing for the hit and roll. Sweeper's got on this early. Just want to make sure it gets there, catches enough of that card.
it's the hit, and it's a nice roll.
Very nice roll.
Very
Gets
nice.
over there, red. Yep. Nicely done.
Yep.
But I kind of think he wanted to get that one underneath the yellow, but I'm not quite sure.
I think so, yeah. Because the red one is pretty back in the house.
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to defend that all the way.
Sweepers are on it, trying to get the roll. It does get the double.
I like this one. Red is sitting just inside the house. So it's not really a double takeout, but it kind of counts as a double takeout.
Around we'll take a look at that one in the replay. You know, it's got to stack up against other shots. It was not an easy run back there. I know they were looking for that rollover underneath the yellow, but the shot stone is still quite high in the house. But Schrobkes do have 2 reds sitting over there on the open side of the ice.
Rolls nicely to the sides. Not just far enough, but...
Yeah, they'll definitely want the roll under on this one. Feels like this one might be a little bit outside. Yep, that's definitely on the outside. It is going to catch that red one and knock it away. Actually takes out 2 and sits the shooter. Shooter stays in the house, sitting at the back there. Not really worth going after just yet, I don't think. Maybe freeze up against it? He's looking at the hit and roll. I think I would do a freeze here. You freeze it, you're locked in the back of the house or something they can't get rid of, and then you can still try to build up around something else in the middle. Schrobkes opting for the hit and roll. It's going to be just a bit outside. And takes their red out as well as the yellow. See, there's Viry. They're looking at that going, let's lock something in here. Oh, no, it's going for the takeout. Sticks, slides over to the middle. We're never gonna get that to slide over underneath their guard. I think at this point, they're happy to take one. Force Schrobkes to make the takeouts, leave out in the open, and then they'll just draw for one at the end, or take out for one at the end. It's fine with them. They've got a 2-shot lead. And then just try to play force Schrobkes to one later or steal themselves. Mine looks like it's a little on the outside, but it's gonna catch it and slide out.
So that yellow one is not sitting in the house.
Viry looking at options if they can probably tap that yellow one in and still get the shooter in. I think you're gonna see a draw away. Nothing heavy here, because they want to make sure that nothing spills out, but it's got to have enough weight that it's, after it taps that yellow, that the shooter is able to slide in. So they do need it to hit on the side. This appears like it might be heavy. Sweepers are just watching it, escorting it down the ice. Yep. Too heavy. Just gonna slide out of the back of the house. So it leaves Schrobkes a wide open house to go after. Anywhere in the paint. Interesting. You know, they've got the whole house to play with, and he's still having them put it inside a little bit more. I would honestly be saying, let's play it a little bit more outside, play it a little more conservative. Don't risk.
Yeah, you don't really want to hit the guard
and hitting the guard.
Hitting that guard is worst case scenario. That's the only thing that could go wrong, aside from just having your weights missed.
Looks a bit heavy. Now, a blank end isn't the worst thing for Schrobkes because they will end up with the hammer. Yep, that's too heavy. Ah, but Viry has the hammer. Okay, so I've miscounted. So I'm, that's definitely a mistake on
Yeah, that.
Schrobkes' part. They needed to put something in the house there, and just for me, I would have put it just barely in the house, something up front. Potentially, if they could get it behind that yellow one, but okay, that makes sense why they were going inside. So another one for hashtag wrong. Took a little bit of a look while he was sliding at his papers. Just trying to get a judge on how if he was fast or slow, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Celine mentioned something about the speed to Stefan at that point.
I don't know. Does he get the top? He gets the tap.
He gets the tap,
the roll is just a little bit short.
It was a nice attempt to score 2 points here.
That was a great attempt, yeah.
1 point.
1 point for Viry, stretching their lead out to 3. So after 3 ends, Viry-Chatillon has 4, then Schrobkes 1.
So if we're looking at the other sheets, I noticed that Huskies are down 3-0 after 2 ends. And on sheet
A, Canadians are up 2-0 after 2 ends. And are sitting with a strong position, a stone just on the top of the forefoot with a guard up in front of it. Might be a little bit exposed, but it's hard to see from this angle. You can see over on the side, Schrobkes having a little
yeah, they're all 4
team conversation, probably trying to regroup. Let's say let's focus and get what they need. Focus on what they need to do.
Yeah, because curling is really a mental game, and it's good to kind of have those conversations. And
yeah, you don't want to let that other team start, creeping out there, stretching a lead out any further. The more ends to go by, the more stones that are thrown, the harder it is to score. So
Erik wiggling his legs. It's gonna get a little bit cold if you're the skip.
Yep, that's why you always see the skips wearing jackets and hats and
gloves
and everything.
Thermic underwear, wool socks.
Eric's not happy with this one. He's kind of wiggling his hand, maybe a bit heavy. Maybe a lot heavy. I think he was waving it goodbye.
Yeah.
Going to sail through the house and out the back.
Yeah, Tilburg struggling with their weights this game. Not the first stone, that was pretty off in terms of weights.
Yeah, I did not get the chance to watch their earlier match, so I have no idea. I know they won, but I do not know if how they were adjusting to the weight of the ice or the sheet, and because I don't know if they play. I don't believe they play on curling ice where they're at. I think they're on an ice skating rink, so speeds are often different than specialty ice.
Yeah, I don't know the Dutch kind of set up in terms of venues, but I think Zoetermeer is the only venue with curling ice in the Netherlands. That's just where their national teams also train.
All right, little tap into the house. So it looks like Schrobkes wants to do Erik wants to have a hit and roll.
Immediate sweeping. They started sweeping even before he released the stone. So could that be because it was not on the line, or?
Yeah, maybe it looks like he was a little bit inside of where he needed to be. They're gonna get one.
So John is kind of not dying, but really coughing hard. Luckily, we have mute buttons, so we don't have to scare people. He's getting old.
Not aged. I think I just had a little bit of a peanut stuck in my tooth that came loose.
Can you say again? What was stuck on your tooth?
Peanut.
Oh, okay. I think I just misunderstood.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
This one's a bit light. Stefan getting out there to try to help out. And then Celine says, okay, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Just then, yeah, nice.
Dragged it all the way in there, so who knows how far they could have taken it if Celine had stayed on that.
Erica doubting what the best call would be in this setup here. Would they want to take out the Yellowstones, or do they want to roll behind? It's there's no clear good answer, I guess.
No, they definitely don't want a nose hit. I think they would prefer a roll in underneath that yellow, but it's going to be put it so close to the yellow that it's going to leave an opportunity to promote and tap it out. This one's going to be just a little bit outside, too much outside, so it's not going to stick. Clears the yellow, but loses the shooter outside.
So for them the dilemma, put one behind their guard, or do they want to go for a second stone just in the front of the house?
Yeah, I think this is maybe the one you aim for, is to get it behind, but if it's a bit light, then you just kind of, you know, it's okay, because then it'll block off that center. So that would be the ideal situation there.
Stefan saying don't sweep.
Yeah, they're just cleaning it a bit, holding off. Sweepers are not holding off. He's keeping it down there. It's going to go a little bit deep. They want it to curl. Try to get underneath there. Just right weight, just unfortunately didn't get enough over.
I think it was the right call for the sweepers to keep sweeping. They have a better feeling of the weights. And the line seemed fine, so...
yeah. But I think there Eric could have said, or not Eric, Stefan could have said, you know, get him off because they want to keep it high. If it wasn't going to be able to get behind that yellow, they wanted to keep it up at in the 12-foot as a guard to the button. I mean, in its position, it is still a guard to the button, but a nose hit takeout would leave it in a good spot, but this is a little bit too wide. And it's going to slide right on by.
So yeah, again, one of those examples where I mentioned earlier, Tilburg kind of struggling with some of the weights.
Yep, that just didn't seem to be... I also kind of found maybe a little... Didn't need to throw a takeout there, maybe something lighter, back line, just to have a little bit more control on it. You know, going for the Viry, going to put up a guard here, want to protect that stone in the middle. There is still a double possibility there for...
I don't think it's hard enough to be... hard for, you mean for Tilburg?
For Tilburg,
yeah. This will tap the guard.
Yeah, now That's a double as well.
Yeah, for
Could even potentially triple that. Slight off nose of the top one. But you'd have to put some serious weight behind it.
yeah. I think in a game where they don't have hammer, they really have an excellent setup.
Yeah.
With those 3 stones, all 3 in the house, kind of guarding, blocking off the button.
Yeah, and Schrobkes has to look at playing takeouts instead of trying to draw in there as well, so...
And now's the time to throw a very good takeout, I guess.
Very smooth delivery and release. Is he on the line? Is he on the line we wanted?
Yes.
Does get...
1, not 2, but the house is open, so it's a takeout, and they cleared the road to the button, so
Yep.
they got some results. I think Eric's happy with this one as well.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad result there, so... You know, Viry can use it. They can try to just stick another one there like he's doing, protect the button. They're still sitting 2. Ooh, this one's falling a lot. Is that gonna tap the yellow one all the way through?
Yeah, it's behind the T line and it's open, so it felt a little bit too much. I think they wanted their Yellowstone to be not in the red, but more in the kind of T line white space.
Eric opting to leave it alone.
They picked the wrong
number.
Wrong number. Doesn't really matter that much. Some people say there's a slight difference in weight between the stones, and it could be important, but I think on our level of play,
I think it's superstition too. If you're used to throwing stones 5 and 6, you want to throw stones 5 and 6.
yeah.
Yeah, certainly a higher level of play. They match them and they figure out which ones are curling similar, that play the most similar, and they try to pair those up. Wow, little bit light here.
It's not deep enough. It's just inside of the house.
It's better than 1 yellow, but you know, Viry is still sitting 2. They can get rid of it. Yeah, you're trying to show. Yeah, you're trying to show the near house on the far house camera. So
Okay.
on the far camera, so it wasn't working. Lots of options here. Trying to figure out what they want to do. I think they're from this. They're going to try to draw it back in between the yellow and the red in the middle there, and get it behind the red. Try to prevent them from being able to promote it, and giving themselves get another stone in a good position. Ooh, it's light. But it is going to guard up that
Yeah, it's closing the
gap.
The gap.
Yep.
I think that was their main objective.
Make sure they get that, yeah. Schrobkes has the opportunity to try to promote that red, run it back onto the yellow. But I think they may opt to just kind of draw it and tap it back, not worry about getting rid of the yellow there in the back of the forefoot.
Oops. That was a little slip there.
He didn't seem so convinced about that shot, though. It took him a while, even after he set it up, to kind of come back down this way, and so he's not super convinced on it.
Still working out what if they're sure about this shot or not. Discussing with the second and the third, the guys who have to sweep in case they need to go for a plan B. Yeah, so we have John, but we also have Caro making some music in the venue.
Alright, they're sweeping this. It looks heavy. It's going to be a bit outside.
Just passes the guards, but it's heavy and it's out of the house. Stefan sweeping the danger away.
Stefan was pointing that they've got options, you know, or it's what do they block Schrobkes from doing? It's like promoting up the middle, or running in off that left one over there on the open ice side. I think they realize that's going to be the more difficult shot to make, so cover up this red in the middle. Now they've got to be careful not to have too much weight on it. Anything along that's inside of that tram track is really going to be okay. Anything even high is going to be okay, because it's going to be still difficult to get around it. You don't want it, obviously you don't want it all the way back up at the hog line, but somewhere in between the, about halfway between the house and the hog would be good. Stop sweeping this one just so I hope it falls. It's gonna curl over. Not enough.
No, it just sits as a guard.
I think that's okay. I think that's what they wanted to do. They were trying to prevent that red, so that's definitely enough, because now they can't do anything. Even if they could get between that gap, it's just gonna push the red off to the side. But it is sitting closer.
And look at the angle. Look at the angle between the yellow guard and that red one. They might just be lined up for red to go straight for that shot Yellowstone.
I think they'd have to be just a little bit off nose, a little bit on the right side as we're looking at it. Just a little bit, because you don't want to have, I think if it goes straight back, the red will miss that yellow back in the house. So looks like they're going to try to play that that angle in. They're going to try to play in off that yellow there. What I saw Eric pointing with his broom, so this will be a heck of a shot if he hits it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you quickly look at the overhead house, you can see how much of an angle he's got. So there is a bit of an angle there. It doesn't have to come straight 90 degrees over, so he's not going to be throwing like a missile or anything like that to try to hit it almost just off nose and have it run. But this is by no means an easy shot.
Can we predict maybe a shot of the match candidate with this stone right here?
Oh, if this works, 100%, this is going on the list. A little bit of an earthquake there.
Yeah,
it seems to be calm now. Oh, he's got him sweeping it. Got to make sure it holds the line. It's got to catch something, but it looks like it's inside.
It's
just missed.
Just misses. Scratching his head there. Well, it was a good attempt, but
yeah, it's hard to see if he's actually, if he's sliding on the broom or not, but if he was, then it wasn't enough ice, but I think he may have been a little bit inside on the release.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's another one for Viry. Or was that two? Two.
You have...
I have more than one job.
Yeah,
Don't say I have one job.
No, I was...
You could be watching it too.
I was gonna say you have some serious case of dementia, or maybe
I was focusing on those stones in the middle, and I was forgetting it if there was anything on the outside. Was it in or out, and was there a red one inside of that? So, all right, so that is the end of the fourth. It was either one or two. Heck, it could be three. I'm probably going to be wrong here. I think Stefano's going to go throw the put the score up. Or no, I'm wrong about that too. He's just grabbing grabbing sliders. Oh no, there he goes. It's going to put the score up. So let's see.
A
two for Viry. So
put them at 6-1
at the break. Yeah, that's
a comfortable lead there.
Got to make sure that they don't get too comfortable. Things can. We've seen it plenty of times this weekend and throughout the season. Teams throwing up 4 and 5 ends to get back in. Yeah, we can. So anything can happen. We can see. It's pretty easy to put up. We've seen it happen often enough. I don't want to say it's easy, but we've seen 4s and 5 ends come up quite a lot in this league this season. So it's certainly a possibility. They're definitely, the Schrobkes definitely aren't out of it yet, but they are going to have to focus and tighten up some of their shots. I think they've just been a little bit off on some of them, and that's been hurting them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 5th end could be a very important end. I remember the game where the Huskies were playing the youngsters. The youngsters were leading 5-0, and then in the 5th end, the Huskies had a very good setup to score a 4-house, which would have brought them back into the game 5-4, and would have completely changed the second half of the game. Fortunately, they didn't manage that, but I think you should always consider the halftime as well. There's still a kind of a second game to play. There are 4 ends, and we can score a big house, and even in the 5th or the 6th, if we score a 3-house or a 4-house, you're just in a comeback situation. So nothing's lost at this point. You can't really say, well, we're leading 6-1, so we can already order some beers and assume the victory is. Yeah,
exactly. You don't want to get too conservative too quickly. You don't need to make those. Try to do anything super risky, but you don't want to start playing more conservative than you usually do and pull yourself out of your comfort zone trying to be too comfortable.
Yeah, true.
So it's definitely a thing here, but I think both teams are going to take the break. They're going to, the Viry is going to just kind of remind themselves, let's stay focused, let's keep going. We've been doing pretty well. And Schrobkes are going to try to figure out, okay, what do they need to do? What's been going wrong? What's been going right? Try to make a little adjustments that they need to get back into this game.
Yeah, I remember after the first or second end, I think it was after the second end, they already kind of huddled together, which is a good example of a team just examining and analyzing their performance as a team performance and see, okay, what are we doing good, what's not going well tonight, and there's still a lot of stuff that could happen.
Still a lot of curling left. So we're an hour and a half into the broadcast, which means we're about an hour into gameplay. So and usually the second halves go a little bit slower. So we've got at least another hour going on here, I think, and you know, we got a little wry smile from one of the guys from Viry as they're walking back out onto the ice. So they're feeling pretty good. They're listening to what we're saying, and I think they're feeling pretty good. And I think they're just going to try to keep doing what they're doing. We're going to see how Schrobkes adjusts, and that's going to be crucial. I think it's got to be in this fifth end that something they got to start making their shots. I think they've been making some of the right calls. They've just not been executing. So really going to be interesting to see what we see here in the in this next few ends.
Yep. And also, well, this is our Saturday night game, but tomorrow we are even expanding our efforts. I mean, on Friday we did 1 game, and then today we cover 2 games, but tomorrow we'll be really exhausted by this time tomorrow.
Another Super Sunday, yes,
Super Sunday,
3 matches we're looking forward to. I got some really good, but again, we finished the day.
True, we finished.
Yes, we will be playing like our foursomes, the Takeout Tigers, will be taking on Desperate Housekeepers.
Which is a very important game, because Desperate Housekeepers, they won their game against Steenhout. Bumps them up 2 points in the rank, and I think Takeout Tigers is now sitting last with 0 points. The only team kind of having that embarrassing 0 points in the table.
We have struggled this season, yes. We've not finished off games where we've had games where we haven't even started though. So let's not sugarcoat it. It's been a rough first half of the season, but we still have a chance to stay up. We just have to. We've got 3 matches left in the season. We have to win at least 2 of them, and preferably all 3.
Yeah.
So I want to play well. I want to come back. We've had 1 match where we've played well, and unfortunately just lost on the last stone on the last end, and those are the breaks. But it's the only match of the 4 we've played where it's gone right, where things have gone right the whole way through. So I'd like to find that matchup again. You know, play well against Housekeepers, because they are a strong team. They've struggled this season as well. They've been a bit inconsistent, but as they showed beating Staingood, who was the Cup finalist last year, you know, they can hang with just about any team in the league. So they've got to we've got to step up our game.
Steenhout also playing kind of nice in this season, this first half of the season. I remember they tied against Team Viry-Chatillon, which is pretty exceptional. Normally, people would expect Team Viry-Chatillon to just run the table and win against every team, but Steenhout managed to get a tie out of that game. So that kind of explains how Steenhout is really a competitor, or is really able to challenge Team Viry-Chatillon in a lot of games. So if you can win against Steenhout, that also proves that you're not just lucky. You actually have some good core curling skills and make them sweat.
Yeah, and so we've got trying to think of what other matches we have tomorrow.
Tomorrow we start with Huskies playing against the Schrobkes. So the Tilburg team we're watching right now, they're facing the Huskies. Huskies having a very condensed schedule of games, since and a week they have to perform well in the B division of the European Championships. And kind of a small thing I can hint, right? Curlia TV will be present at the European Curling Championship, so we will be there, and we'll try to also kind of cover the performance of the Belgian national team. So we've got that kind of scheduled for you guys. But let's keep that as a surprise. I don't want to kind of raise the stakes.
Don't promise things you're not sure you'll be able to deliver. But yeah,
true.
You will be traveling with baby, so it's going to be maybe a little bit harder to
normally if you're sitting on a plane and you see somebody entering with a baby, kind of the first thing that pops in your mind is, oh my god,
oh no,
not the seat next to me. And now
you are
that person. So I'm kind of prepared, kind of walking down the aisle and see all of those eyes kind of burning, like please no, please no. But we'll see. By the way, over at Sheet A and Sheet B, maybe that's something we can also mention. We have 2 other games tonight. We're having the Huskies playing against Luxembourg. Oh, the game has already started. Never mind.
They've gone back out on the ice.
Nobody cares about the other 2 games.
We'll put you up to date really quick. Well, this is just a guard that's coming out.
Yep.
Over on Sheet A, it is level 3-3. They're going into they're just starting the 5th end. Over on Sheet B, it is 7-2 for Luxembourg over the Huskies there. Gave up Luxembourg scoring a 4 end in the 4th end, so to really split that match open, Huskies are going to need to try to come back and get into it. All right, Viry's first stone of the 5th goes into the house, but looks like Schrobkes are not going to worry about it. They're going to try to build up their own. I think they're going to stick to their own plan. No, now that Eric goes back and changes his mind, last moment sets up for a takeout. Sweepers are getting on it, or is he even a takeout? That can't be a takeout.
No. Since he's kind of walking to help and sweep, that's.
Oh, you know what? I think
this is definitely not a takeout.
I think he was just putting his broom in front of the stone, so the sweeper could see it, or the thrower could see it better. But yeah, definitely light there. A high guard, very high guard.
Yeah, super high. One of the highest guards I've.
Yeah, it could be higher. You know, it could be all the way up at the hog. All right, Stefan looking for Celine to tap their yellow further back into the house, and then sit on top of it with the guard. Sit the shooter with the guard. This looks a bit wide. Is that going to fall enough? I think that's too wide, but I think they might be able to drop this back.
Wow, just
sneak behind the guard. That's a fantastic shot. Maybe not what was intended, but still a very good result. Is a little exposed. Yeah, and sitting at offset, it's still close enough that they can do a double. So I think that's what we're going to see here from Schrobkes. No, not with that weight. It's not. That is definitely...
Eric pointing, the stone has to fall behind their guards, but hopefully not behind the T line.
Nope, that is going to get behind the T.
Slightly deep, but they have one in the house. Who knows?
I feel like that was definitely a mistake there. I really should have tried to take that double out while it's there. I think you're going to see... Oh, interesting. Interesting. Stefan kind of making indications for like a hit and roll, but why not put a guard up in front of those two, protect the ones in the house?
Yeah, normally you don't really use those stones in the back for a hit and roll and then have your stone in the back.
Alright. Yep, there he goes. He looks at that a little bit better, and I think the shooter, Laurent, was definitely kind of making some decisions there, helping make that decision. I feel like he felt more comfortable playing that one.
Yeah. We assume this is Laurent. We don't really know for sure. I mean, we just go by the information on the website of Belgian Curling. It says 1 Celine, 2 Laurent, 3 Jeremy, and 4 Stefan. But, well, we could be wrong. Or, well, John could be wrong. I'm never wrong.
All right, there's your hashtag wrong. A little bit light, and it curls over, so it's still, that double is still open. I honestly think that Schrobkes should... Maybe they're worried about the double because of, well, no, they didn't have that stone there before, so now actually you have that yellow one could potentially jam on the red back there, so, but I think they should try to get rid of it.
Yeah, now they still can reach, they can still reach it, and also the fact that Viry called guards is because they didn't want that double to happen. So if you kind of counterplay the strategy of the opponent,
looks to me like he's calling for a draw to come around, get on the wall side of the the open ice side of the double there. It'll have some protection. A bit outside, so it's not going to have enough to fall. It's going to catch that top one. Did that get into the red? It does touch the 4 foot, but it is not shot.
It's not shot, no.
Arrow wants the sweeper sweeping hard on that stone on the on the B sheet.
Right, so this is a takeout. You can tell by the weight. And this is, wow, this is an interesting one. Look at this.
Oh.
It's not shot, but...
Ooh, did that push the yellow one far enough out? I think it did. I think the red is now shot.
Yeah, the red is now shot.
Look at that on the overhead. There we go. Yep, it's there.
Yep.
Not sure if you can see it that well. Might have to make that one bigger, but there we go. Yeah, there you can see it. Just
red is in the red circle, and well, yellow. Very.
Just biting it, but not nearly enough. So. But that red is exposed on the outside.
Yep.
And I think even with a slightly heavy draw, that could still tap that one enough out of the way. So,
are they going for the hit and roll, and of hoping to hit that right yellow stone and then roll over to the side and become a guard for their red stone?
I don't know. I don't think they would have enough of an angle. They'd have to hit this pretty far on the nose with some modest amount of weights. But as we all know, I've been wrong before, so...
It looks like they're just going for a draw.
I think they're going for a draw. Maybe wanted to like take away that little draw inside it. I kind of think that's what they might have been playing for, is like a little bit guard to prevent that inside draw. But yeah, they can come in with some hack weight, and it's hack weight, and it'll get right on that. They do want to be careful, though, that it doesn't get too close to the nose. I'm going to try to sweep this one, get this one around that guard. Just squeezes it by the guard, but if it's a nose hit, it might fall onto their red in the back, yellow in the back. Nope, actually gets rid of both of the reds.
Wow.
Great stone there.
Yeah, this is a shot of the match. I mean, they just clear those red stones, and they have 3 on a button now.
Well, it's a shot of the match candidate.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have good video coverage, then it doesn't make a good...
Yeah, I was switching camera angles, so that may have...
I can work with that. As long as we can see the stones, I can still work with that. Dirk wants to see the house on sheet B if we can.
Oh, the house on sheet B.
Yeah. Just slide this camera over a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see about the house on sheet B.
Back it on. We're getting abused by the coaches in here, you know, trying to take advantage of us. Like, hey, we've got a match going on, but I need to see my match. So moving some cameras around. We're a little bit busy here.
This is 1, 2 taps. No, just 1.
No, just slides across the top there.
But it's out of the house.
Gets it out of the house. They lose the shooter. Schrobkes still has an option to do something. And they look like they are going to draw in. Yeah, I guess the run back tapping that red back onto the yellow doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because then those 2 reds, if they're sitting there, would still be doubleable. So this kind of makes sense. Try to get it into the middle. And
this seems light.
It seems light. Eric's going to have to get out there. They're going to have to sweep this hard.
Has to squeeze in between those 2 stones.
Very good line, just on the light side. Keeps going.
It's too light.
But they can still use that to tap, but it's sitting there right now. They've got a double, and they'll sit 4 with this, so I think, yeah. I always find it curious when the skip goes out to help sweep, one of the sweepers seems to stop sweeping. It's like, no, the point of the skip coming out is to have 3 sweepers on there just to give that little extra boost. I saw it earlier today as well. Like, skip would come out and somebody would stop sweeping. It's like, no, all 3 of you are supposed to sweep. The skip adds an extra 1%, so maybe it's enough.
So if this is a double takeout, they have 4 stones in the house with no red stones in play.
Yeah, that's going to be, this will be huge. This will be big for Viry, because it'll really mean that Schrobkes will have
this
best.
Is hard. Look at how Cecile was running, so this is a very hard stone.
Yeah, he's putting some weight behind this. Didn't want this to risk. Wants to make sure he gets both. It does catch one of the yellows.
Yeah, but it's a double takeout. That's what I wanted.
Both of them are out. Yeah, shooter pops back out the front. But, very good stone there. They don't lie 4, but yeah, they really had to hit both of those stones at exactly the same time. So that was going to be always a difficult shot. Difficult to hold it, but still sitting 2. No reds left in the house, so Schrobkes have, you know, at best 2 in this end, but they still have 2 yellows they have to get rid of and stay at the house, so.
So Stefan is also discussing with Eric about some kind of situation, or are they just having separate conversations here? Because they're having a small debrief with the Viry team amongst themselves.
Yeah. Well, I think they're looking at what are the possibilities, you know. This is interesting that, you know, both teams speak different languages, so they can talk in their own language, so they can be having a conversation about strategy right there. And it's very unlikely the other team is going to know what they're talking about.
Yeah, true. I wonder if we have any fans of Viry watching the stream, because, well, this is obviously in English. My French is kind of poor. I don't know how your French is.
Very, very poor. Voulez-vous de beurre? I even know I say that one wrong, but it's one of the few French phrases I know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I would want to ask somebody if they want the butter, but there you go.
Yeah. Is it omelette du fromage or omelette au fromage? I always mistake that.
That's a whole internet thing. I think it's du, but then again, I'm still probably wrong on that too, so.
I think it was au fromage. Well, doesn't matter.
Oh, this is light. They're going to have to sweep this. Can they get this down there? It's going to keep carrying. Is it going to keep carrying enough?
It's not enough.
Not enough. Just short. It's not in a bad position, but I still think that Viry can put up a guard anywhere along that right tram track. That's going to make it difficult to draw in and tap that red, and it's also going to make it difficult to play out that yellow that's sitting back there. So I don't think they need it to go that far wide, because if it goes out a little bit if it's on that right line at all, I think it's going to leave it open for a potential draw tap back on the red. So they really want to try to make sure they cover that up. Now they're looking at they could possibly come underneath the red. Is also an option. But if it doesn't get deep enough under the red, then you've got that risk of a... Well, no, because that red is still outside of their second shot, so it's like third. Not an easy decision for Schrobkes, no matter what Viry does here.
Yep. Throwers kind of waiting for Stefan to make a final decision here.
Well, Stefan is the thrower, these are the sweepers.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag Pim's wrong. There you go.
All right. Viry ready to throw their last stone.
I spent 4 hours getting the league together, and then you asked for food, you didn't say anything.
Right, needs to fall, but is it hard enough? It seems a little bit slow, but maybe they just want to guard off the option for Tilburg to draw in. And now Tilburg has an option to promote their redstone and score a point here. I don't think they can score 2 points. But this one is an important stone for Tilburg, because if they miss this one, they might up giving 2 points to Viry and being down 1-8 going into the last 3 ends, and that's something they really want to avoid. If they want to stay competitive in this game, if they want to have a chance at victory, this is where they want to at least score a point. And actually, they would need 2 points. Also, just scoring 1 point on their hammer is a good situation for Viry. They can allow Tilburg to just take little ends. Interesting call here. This will just fly by and they give 2 points to Viry. That's not what they wanted. I thought they would promote their redstone and kind of use the yellow stone in the back as a backing. But unfortunately, not the best stone here. And giving another 2 points to Viry. So Tilburg still huddling, missing out on the first stone of Viry. stone that's definitely too hard. We'll just go outside of the house. And now Eric has to make his way back to the house to skip, to put broom and set up hopefully a big house here, because well, scoring or stealing 1 point is not enough. Corner guards. Weight is good. The line is also good. Maybe a little bit outside for a good corner guard. They can use it. Although that's really a little bit too far out. Need to sweep here. It's not the heaviest of stones, but if it could bite the blue, that would be very useful. And I think it just bites the blue. Yeah, just in the house, right where they want it. So yeah, what do you do now as Tilburg? Do you want to draw something behind it? Do you want to take it out? Do you want to... You can't really use it to hit and roll. Yep. Decision is made. Draw it behind their corner guards and leave it on the left blue. Eric showing this is going very well. Maybe slightly heavy though. This one is again too heavy. Not the first time we've seen Tilburg kind of throwing slightly too heavy on their stones, and well, if it happens on your first 4 stones, well, it means that your the build-up of your game is not in your favor, and you have to adapt to the situation. You can't really create your own game and your own strategy just to play reactive. Center guard here for Viry. They're in a very comfortable situation. This is also kind of the point where if you miss a stone, but you're leading 8-1, and you also notice that Tilburg is missing some of your stones, you have a big margin of errors. They need to sweep hard here, because opposite to the previous stone, this stone seems a little bit light. And it's high, and it adds another guard, so instead of improving their situation, this is actually making the situation worse, because well, Viry wouldn't mind having guards on the center line, kind of closing off access to the button. They can use that red corner guard to hit and roll. That's what Stefan was thinking. Just kind of closing down all options for Tilburg to score, or at least score a big end, is what they are looking for. A little bit of a discussion, can they really get something out of that hit and roll, or should they just try to make a draw shot?
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
And my wife popped in for a visit, so having a little chat. And let's see, how are things going for
Well,
Schrobkes? Does not appear to be great.
Not great. They had a stone that was too heavy, and then the stone right after fell too short and actually landed as a guard, and even worsened the situation because now access to the button becomes more harder to do.
This one looks to be light as well.
Yeah. You can see Eric panicking, kind of rushing to help his sweepers.
Doesn't have to get deep in the house, but I don't think it's going to get deep enough and fall enough, so it's going to be...
Well, it's deep enough to become shut, so...
Getting there, and it's still a bit open, though. But that's a tough shot to get after.
Yeah. I think that was actually well performed. It's just curled right in between those yellow stones and then end up sitting behind that guard.
Stefan being perfectly okay. He's going to try to run this yellow one back. But I think even if that one, if it misses, I think they're going to be quite okay with just opening it up. Second falling enough. Gonna try to run back. Ooh.
Oh, really well.
Just slightly off the nose. Yeah, it's usually when I switch to the overhead cam, but but I have experience since I set it up this afternoon, so I know how it works.
Yeah, Stefan not really happy with this one. Or he's just leaning on his broom because he's relaxed.
Yeah, I think he's just relaxing. I think with the seven shot lead, giving up one, not the end of the world. Gives them back the hammer going into the seventh, and they can really just shut it down. That is, if Schrobkes don't decide to shake hands after 6.
Yeah, maybe they have to shake hands at some point.
They don't have to. Well, they have to as soon as they get into the 8th and they can't score.
Yeah, true.
They can't score anymore, but they don't have to. But it is kind of tough to come back with 6 when you don't have the hammer in the 7th.
And also kind of knowing how they struggled all game, it's hard to kind of assume they would suddenly make 6 out. It's always possible, of course. If you're saying,
Viry calling for that same run back. I hope that one's gonna curl over just a little bit too much. Ooh, just squeezes in between the red and the yellow. Taps the yellow a little bit, but not enough. I think if I'm Schrobkes in this one, I want to try to freeze it on that red.
Yeah.
Get that second shot in there. Try to lock in at least one.
And why don't you split it? It's kind of have a little hack weight, tap in that red stone behind the yellow one, and roll over to the left and have 2 stones sitting behind the guards on both sides.
Yeah, that's an option. It's a difficult one. It's not a common thing to play, so they're...
That's good. And they need to look for options that'll give them points. So if they have to decide between option A, B, or C, well, kind of going for the option that maybe is a little bit higher in risk, but gives them an opportunity to score 2 or 3 points. This is what they should look for if they want to kind of be competitive.
Honestly, yeah, I would look at it too. I would look at that. He's got something there. I don't think it's quite... Yeah, it looks like it might only be draw weights.
You need hack weight for that. This one.
It need to be at least backline, I would think. This one is going to come up, but I think he was looking for that freeze. And potential, you know, tap back.
Freeze could also be good because then they can repeat it with their next stone.
But
it's second shot though.
Second shot, but they can get at it to take it out as well. They can do a double.
Yep. Throw in the rockets. Or just, well, even if it's not double, every redstone that clears the game is basically a win for Viry at this point.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely going to raise their win percent chance. We see they did not update the score, but over on sheet A, the match between Canadians and Housekeepers has ended.
It's not Canadians, it's Luxembourg. Housekeepers and Luxembourg.
No, Luxembourg is playing on sheet B against Huskies.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well,
and because also the Canadians are in here sitting in inside right now. Gets one and blocks up any kind of path to the center there. So it looks like Schrobkes are going to have to come around the house outside.
Now one is good, but it's not good enough.
Housekeepers, I just got word, Housekeepers won 9-3 over Canadians.
Wow, so Housekeepers really kind of went up 4 points in the league.
Yeah, 2 wins in 2 days, and they've got another match against us tomorrow, so...
But this would be important because I can't remember the table of the A division, but I think Canadians are sitting kind of on the bottom part of that A division.
Yep. We still have to play them?
We as Takeout Tigers still have to play them. Yep.
We were playing them last season, and we gave up one big end and then just struggled to catch up, and we fell just short. So we can't afford to give up the big end again. But I don't think we play Canadians until December. So they're going to try to draw this into the house. So they want to squeeze it between these yellows. They've got to sweep hard to get this one around that guard. Is it going to go?
It's around and
that goes.
That slight tap is even improving the situation, I guess.
Just got to make sure that doesn't go too deep.
This is very nice. I mean, now they have 2 stones, and that little tap also kind of protected their red one sitting behind the yellow one. Well, there's always an option to do a hard takeout and get it out of the way, but...
Yep, that's the shooter stayed in a good spot. I think it's selling seconds. I believe so, yeah. So Viry with trying to figure out what they need to do here.
Yep.
I'm honestly don't think they need to worry too much about giving up 2. They just try to make sure that it's not 3 or 4. But I guess they can't really score. Schrobkes only has 1 more stone, so most they can give up is 3. Yeah, I don't know. You shake hands down 5 going into the 7th. Down 6? Maybe. And down 7. I think for sure. 8 is 100%. They're going to shake hands. I think 7 is also a pretty safe bet. Got the sweepers trying to look at what they want to do, figure out, well, come on, take your time, guys. Don't.
Yeah.
We've got all night, why not?
Yeah.
I actually don't know if Viry is playing tomorrow or not. I would assume they would. I don't think they would come up just for the one day. They didn't play yesterday. So.
Yeah, I remember Dirk kind of made the league schedule so that the foreign teams could play multiple games in one weekend, kind of have a tournament approach for those teams.
So they don't need to come back up and forth quite a lot, especially for Viry, since this is it's a 3 to 4 hour drive each way. You don't don't want to inflict that kind of travel on anybody just for no reason, just for one match. All right, quick update over on sheet B. We have a tie match through 6. It is 7-7. Huskies scoring 3 in the 6th to tie it up, so...
Becoming kind of the Huskies trademark to make it pretty exciting up till the last end. Well,
look at this. We're going to see a bit of a... I think he was trying to run that red one back and kind of split things, kind of make a mess out on the front, but just kind of taps that red one out of the way. So they're going to try to draw this one again right into that gap.
Yeah, they can score 3 points, and 8-4 is still something you could...
Yeah, that's 4 points back. That's definitely it's doable in 2 ends. So we'll definitely see, I think, we'll definitely see the 7th end.
Yeah. Yeah, so Viry, they also have a match tomorrow morning. Viry is playing Daddy's School tomorrow morning.
Uh-huh. Very important stone here for Schrobkes. I think there's a big difference mentally between 8-3 and 8-4.
Yeah, they really need that. Those are the kind of 3 points that are important. You have all the space. Well, there's not all of the space, but plenty of space to just have a decent draw.
This is a wide open draw. It's starting to slow down, but I think that's going to be just fine. They're going to sweep this just to guarantee it gets into the white.
It's in.
And there we go.
Completed. And 3 points.
3 points for Schrobkes. It gets him back into this match.
And still 2 ends to play, so...
2 ends to play, 4 points down.
That's an average of 2 points per end for a tie, and that's manageable.
Yeah, I think on this end they're going to be looking either for a force of 1 or try to steal 2 or more. You definitely don't want to go into that last end needing to steal more than 2, so they'd like to do it now, score as many as they can here, or give up as few as possible here. Viry honestly would be okay with a blank end as well. They'd leave them the hammer in the 8th end, and Schrobkes needing 4 to tie. So this end is going to be pivotal to Schrobkes' chances of coming back to a win. Just about to say that was the highest scoring end of the match, but no, I forgot there was a 3 at the first end.
Yep.
So matching 3s on the board for each team. Now, was that a called corner guard?
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking the same. Not a center guard, but a corner guard. Like, not textbook play, but maybe there's a bigger plan.
Yeah, maybe it's sort of a... Maybe they're looking for a sort of a power play situation like in doubles where you start off things on the outside, so this could be something. Viry's gonna look to put this in the house. I think they're gonna dare Schrobkes to chase them, play some takeouts out of the house, burn some stones that way. We'll see if Schrobkes takes the bait. Appears a bit heavy though, but I think that's going to stop just behind the T line.
I think it's going to fly by.
That's going to fly all the way through.
Yep.
So I was right the first time. I was wrong for thinking I was wrong. So the two wrongs cancel each other out, and I was right.
You know what
or the right cancels out the wrong.
Well, you know what they say. I mean, every clock's right twice a day.
Yep. All right, so I think maybe just that opening stone was just a missed slide because now they're calling for the center guard again. Taking a lot of ice, so I think as soon as that crosses the middle, that's going to be another corner guard, but it's also going to be quite high. To sweep to make sure this one gets over the hog. Try to get as deep as they can, but yep.
Kind of have a second corner guard now.
Yeah, Viry's just going to draw this up the middle, put it out behind, in the house behind that wall side guard. Sweepers jumped on this right away, so they definitely don't think it has the weight for it. Yep, starting to see it slow down and it's falling. It's going to fall onto that guard.
Yep. Not much they can do with this stone right now.
No. Well, honestly, Schrobkes can put something up behind it. Now it's protected. They can start building things up. Put something out over there high, and it's something in the house.
Yep, they want it just in the front of the house, behind the guards.
Interesting they would choose to go behind the high one, but I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you can get this stone behind those guards. Get it in the house, get it protected. They're maybe more familiar with curling it this way. All right, there it starts to go. Sweepers are sweeping to try to get it deep. Hey, look at that. Yep. Not quite hard enough.
Nope.
I was just about to say, hey, look at that. The sweepers didn't, one of the sweepers didn't stop sweeping just because the skip did, but apparently it wasn't hard enough. And now Viry's just going to start to open things up. Just going to hold. Going to miss the top one, but it does clear out that back one. Leaves the center a little bit clogged, but it's also going to make it harder for, or maybe downright impossible for Schrobkes to bury something over there behind that red-yellow guard combo. He's looking at it anyway. So this is definitely a I think they should have thrown the stone last end. It's waving him off. Wants to make sure this falls enough. Trying to give it some hand gestures to get it to go, and it just does not. And see, that's the big risk there.
One.
One taps onto the button. It's sitting open, but I think this is going to be an easy one for Viry to just cover. Yep.
Center guards. I mean, they don't have hammer, so or they might want to hit and roll or split and be behind both of the guards again.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. That looks like what he's trying to do. That's a good call there, Pim. Pim hashtag right.
Yeah.
Something about a broken clock.
Yeah. Timo would have been so proud if he could just hear how
if he heard that. Yeah, you know, I'm going to edit that out of the final video. So if he goes back to watch the VOD, there'll be nothing. No proof. I'm gonna start playing copyrighted music over it so we get banned.
Well, and if it works, it could also be shot of the match. And then I could say I've predicted the shot of the match.
Right idea, just didn't fall enough or have the right weight. But
it's use a double for Tilburg now.
I don't know.
Why not? Well, no, they want to hit and roll, but if they would hit it slightly on the left side, I think just manage to do a hit and roll and then
nose hit would work. Slightly left of the nose would be ideal, but you're talking like very slight because I think they're already overlapped a little bit, so we would just need to get on it. But they also have to look at how they're going to can they keep this shooter?
Yeah, they need the shooter to stay because they need the points. They need to look for an option that will bring their shooter in a protected position behind one of the guards.
I think they're doing a tap back. Or no, just got a very late break, so hit and roll over. Yeah.
Yep.
Get it behind cover. Leave it center open. Oh, that's a very nice shot. Honestly, that's a very good stone there.
Hands down, one of their best shots tonight.
Yep. Yeah, Viry looking to cover that potential run back from that high guard there. So gonna try to hit on one of the further backs and kind of roll up underneath it. This one seems to be a bit outside. Rolls the opposite way. And takes out their yellow one.
Yeah, interesting. New situation.
Mistake there, yeah.
The rolled redstone now also loses its cover. So
yeah. They could try their own split hit and roll here. Yep. Try to just tap that red one underneath the cover, let the shooter slide over to the side.
Need to look for options to score.
Yeah. Check this one, get the shooter in. So I think he's calling for just behind the T line kind of weight. Doesn't need to be super heavy. They just need to tap that one over. Make sure the shooter has enough momentum to slide out to the outside. It's gotta fall. Why are they sweeping it? It's not enough weight. That's why.
That's the only reason why you would sweep that early.
Freeze isn't terrible. Freeze isn't terrible.
But it's not.
But it's not going to be hard enough.
It's in the house, and that's important. It's very important that it bites. You never know how
Could come into play. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think for Viry, the important thing is just get one of these reds out of there. Preferably the shot stone, but either one is okay, because if it gets rid of the top one, then it's open again, and then Viry's got another, or Schrobkes have a another difficult choice, another difficult shot. And this one looks like it's falling. That's gonna be pretty good, I think. It's gonna just miss that top one, roll over. Oh, excellent shot there. Gets over on the backing.
And it's guarding, so they're lined up. Now yellow is laying 2. This really kind of turns the situation again for
yeah. That was a very important stone for Viry. Very excellent stone there. Just sneaking around that front red.
Yep.
I mean, they had options. It didn't matter if they took that front red out, but taking that back one out and leaving it over there where it is, that's a pretty good one. Schrobkes looking maybe to do the hit and roll, possible double out those 2 yellows. Bring that top red scoring in back into scoring. All right.
And over at sheet B, Luxembourg scored a very important treehouse on the 7th end.
Yeah, so now they're leading 10-7 into the last end. So Huskies are going to have to put something good together here to steal this match at the end. A 4-house needed to win that match. All right, first of the skip stones ready to come here. Very important stones for Schrobkes. If they can hit this one and leave the shooter in the house, that's going to be big, because it's going to give them lying 2.
Slight moment of focus.
Letting this one go. Is it going to have enough? It's not going to fall enough, so... Ooh, is that yellow inside?
Yellow is laying shot right now.
As best we can tell.
Yeah, that's my guess, but well...
I would think, from this one, I would kind of look at it too, but yeah, we're at it's not directly overhead, it's slightly at an angle, slightly behind the T-line, so it's close.
Yep.
It's close. But that yellow is in a spot, the red one's in a spot that is actually kind of guarding that, covering up enough of that yellow that it's not going to be easy for them to go after it. I think if they do a takeout on it, they're not going to have enough of the nose to hold it in the house. So I think Viry's best bet here, yeah, try this takeout, clear that red one out of the way, and you know, at best they're giving up. You know, Schrobkes will have to try to find a way to score 2. But Viry having hammer, that's gonna be a tough ask.
But a good hit and roll could turn the game in their favor again.
Yeah, I think a good hit and roll could essentially end the match.
I think if they manage to get this hit and roll...
Worst case scenario would be he's wide, and that red jams on the yellow in the back, and they lose the shooter. That would leave Viry sitting, or not Viry, Schrobkes sitting 2 with a stone to play. They could try to set up 3, but I think this is going to be a nice, easy tap on the inside. Gets that red one out of the way, blocks those 2 yellows.
Awesome stone. Now they have a very similar situation like the house was 2 stones ago, where they had 2 yellow stones all lined up.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to double this out, hopefully hold the shooter. And yeah, but if they can get the shooter to roll underneath that top red, then it's going to be Viry drawing for 1. But it's going to be it still might be, that might be enough for a handshake. Just 1 for Viry. But Schrobkes really has to get this one first. Eric has to double this out and has to hold the shooter. Is that going to be enough to get around that guard? I think it is. Maybe slight nose, but he does get them both.
This is an extremely nice double.
Does get them both.
Well played, this end so far. I've seen so many good stones here. I think you've noted down already 2 or 3 shot of the match candidates just on one end.
Yeah, this is by far the best end both teams have played. This is really been hitting their shots. It does, the shooter does stay outside, so it is possible for Viry just to play a simple takeout. Simple takeout, hold the shooter, take a 5-point lead going into the end, to the last end, and possibly handshakes.
This is outside.
Oh, outside. Is it going to hit enough?
Yeah, but
it does not hit enough. Red will stay. Schrobkes score 2.
Well, they don't just score 2, they steal 2, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, steal of 2 there. So that's we are going to go into the 8th. Schrobkes with life.
Remember, at some point they were 8-1, and now they, all of a sudden they're 8-6, so
yeah,
that's kind of a nice comeback here.
Yeah, that you thought maybe coming back out of the break and the giving up 2 was giving up a steal of 2 was going to hurt them, but you know, Schrobkes found a way to come back, force Viry to make a shot that they just didn't do, and so that's why you always say, you know, it's an open shot, but they still have to make it. So coming down into the last, you know, they're gonna have to steal.
Well, I didn't want to see where the Viry team was slapping their caps buttons while he was pulling up their pants with the belt.
I did not see that, but
did not see that, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're gonna skip back in the timeline and rewatch that.
Yep. So, yeah, Schrobkes looking for another steal. They need another steal of 2 just to draw, but you know, let's see if that gives them some confidence coming into this last end. And
I think it does.
What does it do to Viry? You think they might be thinking about that, going, "Oh, we let the match get away"?
Well, they still are leading by 2 points, and they have hammer, so yeah, it's not that bad in the end.
That is true. That is true. Schrobkes is going to have to play another good end. Sliding, push that a little bit inside. Is that going to curl too much?
They are going for a corner guard.
Yeah, he called for like a middle high corner guard. Interesting strategy here. But I really think he's looking at it like, okay, this will give us something to play in potentially.
Since it's pretty wide, just in the house would be slightly better, but it's not.
No, I think that's still It's wide, but I still think it gives them a good angle in.
They can use it to hit and roll, so it serves its purpose as a corner guard.
Yeah, you don't want to give them a chance, Viry, to have a chance to play in behind it. What? I didn't see what's... Okay, they're going to come back towards the middle.
Slightly unbalanced sliding there.
Yeah.
But well, as long as the stone's good, we'll be fine.
I think she may have pushed
Looks
it when
hard.
she lost her whip balance, so maybe that gets out the back.
It is.
So confident it's going out the back, Eric didn't even bother to come down to sweep it. So, calling for another corner guard on the same... Oh, no, there he goes. He originally, when he walked out on the ice, he pointed out, so wants a center guard now.
Tilburg definitely having the moral advantage, and maybe there's a kind of small stress situation over at Team Viry, because they know they
had a big lead. Yeah.
They allowed Tilburg to come back in this game. Allowed is maybe a big word, but Tilburg.
Well, a little bit. I mean, it's kind of their doing. All he had to do was hit that takeout, and you know, they only give up one, but instead they allowed them to score two.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if you were sitting 8-1 halfway, and then you're able to end up with a tie, that's also kind of feeling as a small victory.
Yeah, that's being down by so much and getting back to take a point would be I think be very big for Schrobkes.
Skip to the rescue. Need a stone to be
not quite sweeping in front of it, but there it goes. Drags that into the house. I think at this point you two are maybe hit and roll. Oh, I see. He's going to try to do the split tap.
Interesting.
Maybe best to do... Yeah, it's probably the right time to... If you're going to do some kind of shot like that, now's the best time because it's open and you can get to it. You never know if it's going to be that way, but then again... Yeah. I don't like the idea of taking away a pretty decent guard where you've got a hit and roll opportunity. But Eric knows his team better than we do, so maybe he knows that this is their strength is the draw.
Eric calling not to sweep, but then there's still some sweeping, so that means it could be a little bit too light. Line looks fine.
You want to try to get this one down behind. Oof, not quite curled enough. There is a double there.
Yeah.
Or do you mess with the double and you just try to get that one in the house out of the way? Feel like he might have been a little bit inside. Is that going to curl? It's going to... No, that's going to be all right.
Yeah, that's good. So again, they just need to have an attempt to score 1 point with their last stone. That's their main objective here.
Yeah, we're seeing Eric. Looks like he wants to do a tap.
Something is happening at sheet B.
Somebody fell hard. Yikes.
Oh, it's
Skip from Luxembourg fell quite hard. He's a little bit shaky. They're trying to get him up and going to move him off to the side of the ice.
Yep.
No, he doesn't want to. Well, doesn't want to go off to the side of the ice. He's actually going back to the other end.
Something you never want to see, kind of senior players making a bad fall on the ice.
You don't want to
dangerous sports.
You don't want to see anybody make a fall on the ice, to be honest. Ice is hard and unforgiving. But he's up, he's moving around, seems like he's okay.
Yeah. Kind of good that our game was paused for a second because you don't want to get uncomfortable situation on the camera.
Is he gonna get the tap here? He's playing it. That's what they wanted. They wanted to get that tap in.
This is good.
Unfortunately, no, it just did not fall enough. And
still a double takeout, but the red stones are not in the house. Just one stone is in the house, the center stone.
I'm not sure why they're gonna bother with the double here. Sweeping on it right away. Just getting rid of this red one, something that they can't use to get behind. Keeps that wall side busy over there. There is a gap. I think they can get through behind it, but it's going to be tough. Oof. Had a super aggressive sweeping from Blue Huskies over on sheet B to drag one in. Now they're sitting 3.
This could be a nice split. I don't know, maybe yellow's in the way. They roll behind that yellow guard, so that's good. And
Yellow is still deep,
shot, but they're open.
Yellow is first and third there.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting strategy there from Schrobkes, but you know, they're trying to find a way to score 2. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. Viry is just gonna tap this red one out of the way. Sit over there.
So pretty good situation for Viry. They have their shot stones a bit cluttered, so hard to take out. The road to the center is still open. They have last stone, so
they're sitting at least 2 and quite possibly 3. If you take it over the overhead really quick, it's really close between. It's 2 for sure, and that third yellow is close with the red. So. This is an interesting call. What are Schrobkes trying to do here? It does catch. Ooh, yeah, interesting, but it's going to fall too far.
Yep.
But it does give them something in the house. Probably third shot. I don't know. It's a curious call there. Why they would try? I think they were trying to draw behind that, but it would have been too heavy if they were. So.
Stefan needs some time to figure out the best option. I think they're just going for takeouts. Clear some redstones. Every redstone is a potential danger. They have lost stone anyway.
I think they're calling timeouts.
Timeouts?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. So they can talk, so they can spend more time talking. We don't have a clock, so there's not really a need to call timeout. They're not bringing a coach on, so. But they want to be able to take their time and not feel like they're under pressure. So we're coming over to the last stone for Huskies in the last stone on the last end. Huskies are sitting 2, have an opportunity to try to draw to get that 3 to draw the match. They want to make sure that it doesn't go too far though. Looks a bit heavy. It's coming in. It's... Oh no, it's gonna sweep and it's just gonna go and stop in the back of the house, and Luxembourg takes the match.
Oh, yeah.
10-9.
10-9, that's pretty close.
Just a little bit heavy with their last stone. Falls into the 12 foot. They needed it in the 8. Looking at the scoreboard, looks like it was a real good back and forth. Lots of action over there. All right, we're out of the timeout here. Marie's gonna try to tap on their, or hit on their yellow, run it back onto the red, get rid of that red up there. Oh, slides over into the middle. Very still sitting 2. Schrobkes has 1 in the house, but getting down onto skip stones now, and means if Schrobkes is running out of time.
Yep.
Because not only do they have to look at, if they want to win this match, not only do they have to look at getting 2 stones in the house, they got to try to get that yellow out. And can they do that? Can they find a way to get rid of this yellow that is covered? Get the shooter to get into the house? As you saw, they're looking at, they could possibly do a off the side there. That'll take that one out. Slide the shooter over onto the red, or onto the yellow. Try to get rid of it. This is definitely going to have some weight on it. Gotta make sure that it stays straight and that it moves, has enough weight to move that yellow out of the way.
Yeah, again an important stone for Eric here. Did we just see somebody just pick up a stone, carry it around like that?
We did. He's still on the screen.
Yeah, what's happening?
I do not. Oh, I see. They're taking a picture.
Oh, they're taking a picture. Okay, yeah.
And of course, they don't have their own stones down there, so they're going to hold this one up and hopefully put it back. Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully they don't drop it. Never mind that there's still a match going on the sheet, and that they might actually need that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets one. And that other yellow, I think it is outside of the red. It's very hard to tell. It's going to be very close. Maybe if we go to the near house camera. No, of course, now they're standing in the way there. Now, I think that red is closer. So red is sitting second shot.
Yep.
That was a pretty good stone there. Now, I forgot to write it down, so we'll go back. I just need a rough estimate. I still have to go back and actually watch things, so...
We're examining their picture.
Pretty excited about that win, Luxembourg.
Yep. Well, it was a close win, so they can be happy about that.
I mean, what we thought this one started out to be kind of a runaway, but it's come back. We're starting to see a lot more action in these last couple of ends, and we're going to have a pretty nail-biting finish here. See if Schrobkes can find a way to score 2 and tie it up.
Yep.
You know,
as relaxed as they were, Viry halfway, I think they feel some nerves with this their last end, because they really can't make a big mistake. They have to be focused, concentrated, make the right calls, and of course throw the right stones.
Now, Viry does have the advantage of having hammer, so
Yeah, as long as they have a, let's say, a road to the button, then it comes down to
it's gonna
throwing a
come
good
out of that
ball
left
stroke.
draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one gonna have enough. Sweepers are on it. Skip's coming. Vice skip's coming out, and that is going to be just short. Just grazes, touches that guard, so it does not get deep enough. Oh, where does Schrobkes go? I think
If they
they've got,
freeze it against that yellow one, where Eric is putting his broom right now, can they score two?
they've got to look at are they their shot on that back, but that yellow one up at the top where they're looking at right now, that's the shot stone, so they gotta get rid of it. That's the only thing they can do. They got to focus on that, try to roll it over, and get behind all that garbage on the wall side. That's their only hope.
Their only hope.
Yes,
That seems that sounds so dramatic.
yes. Use the force, Luke. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Well, it's the last stone of the last end.
Well, no, because Viry has one more.
Yeah, but for
The
Tilburg.
Schrobkes' last stone.
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
the last chance they have in their own hands. Is even if they make it, they still have to
Yeah.
hope Viry misses.
In Dutch in the Netherlands, they would say death or gladiols, the dood or the gladiolen, the flowers, the victory flowers, or the shameful death. And this is what this kind of stone feels like. They need to score two.
It has to hit this yellow, and it does not.
No. So,
Oh, what a shame.
yeah. So I think this will be
This will be handshakes.
handshake.
Yep. You know, Schrobkes, they fought to the end. You know, they could have just given up and let this match go away, but they fought to the end. Viry played strong. You know, Viry played a strong match. Almost gave it away. They made more mistakes in that second half of the match than they did at the beginning. They allowed Schrobkes to come back in, but ultimately just falling short. And so Viry stands level atop the standings with. Oh no, because Luxembourg won twice today, so I think they are second place now, solo second. So just 2 points back, but one fewer match played. So both teams undefeated.
We're gonna update the standings by tomorrow, so tomorrow morning we can have a fresh view at the most accurate standings of the Belgian league. That will help us because it's hard to figure
trying to
out,
guess.
do the math in our heads. But yeah, looking at this game halfway, I had very much doubts whether Tilburg could even potentially come back in this game. Well, kind of hoping for a strong end in the fifth or the sixth. Didn't happen in the fifth end, or it happened a little bit in the fifth end, but especially that seventh end, that was the game changer. I remember the seventh end, both teams playing very strong, hit and rolls. You noted down a couple of shot of the match stones, and Tilburg ending up stealing 2 points, crawling back to 8-6. And then going to the last end with kind of a small opportunity. They needed another steal of 2, but well, 2 points, that's manageable. I've seen 2 ender or 2 houses so much. That's not an exceptional situation where a team would steal 2. And you noticed with Team Viry, they kind of got nervous about, are we going to throw the game? Are we going to allow Viry or
Yeah,
Tilburg
maybe
to
they
come
got
back?
a little tight and started making some more mistakes. I mean, because it's funny that you mentioned the seventh end having so many shot of the match candidates, but the turning point was the open takeout that they missed at the end.
Yep.
You know, and that gave Schrobkes the 2 points. So it's you know, it's just kind of, there's a bit of irony in there, but then again, it came down to it at the end. You know, Schrobkes had a chance for a takeout to try to sit 2, try to steal a tie, and just missed it. So you know, it's always a case of you got to make the shots. Sometimes it looks easy, it's open, but you still have to make it. You still have to execute, and unfortunately for Schrobkes, it just came up a little bit short. But you know,
but they can step away from this game with a kind of good feeling. They kind of have they pulled off a good comeback, which always makes you feel kind of nice. If you're in such a bad position halfway and you're able to just huddle, be calm about it, find your calm, and come back. That kind of proves that you're never completely defeated.
You are an absolute optimist, because I would be looking at that first half of the match and saying, what went wrong? What did we do to get so far down? And, you know, because they did get a little bit of help getting back into the match. They did start playing better in the second half, but they gave away so much in the first half that they can't just look back and go, well, we almost got back in it, because you do have to look at why weren't we in it?
Yeah.
So it's you gotta take the good with the bad. You gotta analyze everything. You know, I still think they're gonna walk away from this loss and not be happy with the way they played, and I don't think they should. You know, I think they should look at it and go, we made some good shots, we had a couple of good ends, but there was that weak opening that put us in this big hole, and so you don't want to just say, well, we were down by 7 and we came back to lose by 3. So
yeah, true. But maybe their analysis is, if we just would have been on par on our skill level in the first half of the game, we would just won this game, and now we've lost, and we shouldn't have lost this game if we would just played the way we could have. And that could also be their takeaway right now. It's hard to estimate. Maybe at some point we will have interviews. That could be awesome to just hear Skips and team players make a... But tomorrow morning we're having the Huskies facing Dun Schrobkes. So both teams lost their game tonight, but it came down to a very close end, and then they have to do a little bit of broom stacking, but kind of get energy back, because tomorrow morning they will have to perform again. Yep.
They're gonna have to shake this off, come back early tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. back out on the ice. You know, Huskies still have 2 matches tomorrow. They've not pulled out the results that they wanted this week. They've certainly, their last 2 matches today, they've lost them both, but they've come down to the last stones. So they can feel better about how they were playing compared to earlier in the week when they got handily beaten by the under 18s. So, you know, they've definitely improved. You can see the training in the week has helped. They've definitely regrouped, starting to come better. But yeah, they're going to want to have better results. They would like to have had better results heading into the European Championships, but still 2 more games tomorrow that can get them back in a good mental state. You know, I don't think it's going to be easy for them. Schrobkes, while they didn't play a great match early today, they showed that they do still have some talent there. So it's not a fluke that they were at the top of their near the top of the scoreboard or leaderboard. So gonna be a good opening match tomorrow morning.
Yep. They have a small advantage because Esther, one of the Dutch coaches of the Huskies, is here this weekend because Tilburg is playing, and she also helps the Huskies to kind of deal with their mental game, stay positive, focus on the match and that kind of stuff, and that's also what they need in preparation for the Euros.
Yep. So I think that's it for us today. Yeah, all the matches have concluded. We are... we
don't have any late night matches or kind of
no nothing starting at 10 p.m. No way. I'm not here for that, because we've got 3 matches tomorrow to broadcast for you at 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Full day of curling.
We're going to be here Super Curling Sunday, second week in a row. Hope to see you all here. Glad you guys could all come by, stop in. You know, do the YouTube thing, hit the like, subscribe, and jingle the bell get more notifications. Follow us on our socials. We're Curdia TV on Instagram, Twitter, and we don't really use Facebook, but it's there if you'd like.
Yeah, we just made sure nobody would steal our name and then kind of misuse the big brand of Curdia.
And who knows how long Twitter's going to survive with Elon Musk doing what he's doing. So 100% Instagram, that's where we post all of our things. You can also follow us on the YouTube channel. We always try to pre-program the upcoming matches. So we've already got all 3 matches scheduled tomorrow, so you can set reminders to come and join us. And thank you guys all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, and we will see you tomorrow.
They're starting to put on the lights, kind of creating a cozy atmosphere. I think we'll just join the teams and kind of debrief with them, because I want to know their information and bring that to you guys as a pre-game analysis. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks, John.
Have a good night.
Bye.